So now let's look at Blender and how to make a fast human-shaped character. So we can start with the default cube, and we need to go into edit mode again. So go up here, choose edit mode, or press tab on the keyboard. Then you can choose face select mode here, or press number key 3, and you can choose different faces to work with. What we want is that the cube is thinner because our character is not going to be cube shaped. So what we can do is we can press A to select all the shape, and then we can press S to scale bigger and smaller. And if I only want to scale smaller on the x-axis, I can press X and then go narrower. Okay, from here I can choose different faces to build out our character. We'll say that this is the torso of the character. So I'll press E to extrude, and it's naturally going to extrude straight up. And this will be the shoulder area, and we need an arm to extrude from here, and then we need an elbow point there. Same thing over here, we will extrude and extrude one more. Now if you want to extrude exact amounts, we can press E and then 1 to get an exact, or E2, and then press E and then number key 2 again. That'll extrude exactly two units. Extrude 2, extrude 2. That way it stays consistent. For the head, we can click on this top piece, extrude up, and we want this neck to be thinner. So we want to scale, but we don't want it to scale in all directions. We really mostly, I mean, we kind of do, but I'll say for now, let's scale just on the y-axis. So we bring that in, and then we'll extrude again, scale on the y-axis again. That's again, to do that, we press S and then Y, and then drag out. Extrude again using the E key, extrude again using the E key, and S to scale, Y, and bring that in. So now we kind of have a boxy front of a character. For this, to get 2 legs out of 1 point, there are a couple of tricks, but the best way, the easiest way that won't cause you so many problems, especially if you plan on animating, is to extrude down and then scale on the y-axis in this case and go way in, almost all the way. Please make sure you do not scale past like this. If you see overlapping textures like that, that's a problem. So don't do that. Now we have these 2 faces to work with. If we click on both of them, we can extrude them both at the same time. And if we don't like that there's an angle here on both of them, we can press S to scale, Z, which is the up and down, and then we say that we don't want any height. We change that to 0. So SZ0. Okay, and one final, or 2 more, I guess. Extrude one more time. I'll just use unit 2, and then extrude one more time for the feet. I'm going to go with, I guess, 0.5. That didn't work. 0.5. Nope. Excuse me. Sorry. I guess I'll just do it manually. There we go. So I will select both of these, and we can extrude forward to have feet. Okay. We have a simple character. We might want to box some things out. For example, this line on the neck should probably go in. The face can come out a little bit. So we can go into edge select mode by pressing 2 or going up here. I press 2. Grab that line and see if we can move it around. I want to move it on the x-axis and move it in just a little bit. And then I want to fist the whole grab the whole face here, press 3, and then grab the just little small modifications. We'll figure out all the details later. Okay, I'm happy with the general shape of the character. I'm going to leave edit mode now. I'll go back to object mode and add a subdivision surface modifier. That's what makes it rounded. So we'll go into here, modifiers, and add modifier. If you don't see this menu, it's going to might be different for older versions of Blender. That's fine, but you want to find the one that's called subdivision surface. It's the one with the box and the circle. And now we have a character. If you're happy with the character as you have it now, then you can just apply this modifier by doing this little drop down arrow and choose apply. If you want it to be smoother, you can add more vertices by increasing the levels here. It makes it much smoother, but it also makes it much more difficult on your computer, so I would not suggest going too high on that number. I'll show you the difference. If I go back into edit mode, you can see that nothing changed in the geometry. But if I apply the modifier and then go into edit mode, now I have all those vertices, the new vertices, all these dots here, which can individually be moved around. I'm going to go back and unapply. Okay, so I think that's the basics for a character. If you want to do some specifics to fix some rounded edges, let's say the arms or the feet got shorter than you expected them to, let's go back into edit mode. You will notice that the arm is a bit shorter than the length it originally was. That's because Blender is doing some math calculations between this point, this point, this point, and this point. So if you want to force the arm to be longer, what you can do is add a loop cut, which is Command R, and then you can click and drag it out, and you can get more of a rounded effect. You can get a sharp effect. It really depends on what kind of character you're looking for. But I'm happy with that one. And then I would do the same over here. Similarly, you might say the neck is not narrow enough. So what we can do is, if you're in edge select mode again, that's number 2 on the keypad, or this button up here, you press, you hold down the Option key if you're on Mac, and click on a line, and you can see that now it's selected the whole circle around the neck. And now we can press S to scale that in as much as we'd like to. If you have to scale too much for that change, you could just add a loop cut across the neck here, and that'll also help with the well, I guess one more final thing to say would be, if you can't see the line that you're working with because it's inside the mesh, you can change the visibility of the mesh to go to see-through mode here. X-ray mode will help you. That gives you the freedom to see everything. It does make it a little bit more confusing looking though. But if I wanted to select that again, this line again, and scale it out because I was not so happy with it being so narrow, that's what I would do. Okay, I hope this was helpful.